Welcome to Shane's Tech Support. So yeah, guys, had a little technical difficulty today. I apologize for that. Anybody using the old well, anybody using the link that I put up earlier? It's not
Spit it
working.
out, Shane.
Yeah, it's not working. What happened was, Panda, I don't know if you ever answered it either, but said Stevie sent us an invite to join his StreamYard, not his live, his actual StreamYard. The
Uh-huh.
reason he did that was so that you would have control and be able to highlight chat. So you wouldn't just be sitting there reading it and telling me what to go back and look at.
Oh, well, I
Problem
thought.
is, problem is when he sent me that on my phone, and when I went to start the live stream on my computer, it's not recognizing Stevie's StreamYard. And even if he sends me a link to it, it tries to post on Stevie's channel with his background and all that stuff.
Oh,
So probably gonna be a little slow getting people in here because Stevie had to go in and kill the old link, and I created a new one like 90 seconds ago. So, like literally, I
well,
created it, invited you, and here we are.
well.
So
Here we are.
yeah. So Brandon Sutton and Jeffrey Dawson, you guys get a huge shout out for being able to figure it out this quick and getting here, even though we made it difficult.
Kyle Coonley. I'm not a weirdo. You are.
Yeah. Kyle slept damn near all the way through OCD's live. He didn't show up till the last 30 minutes.
Oh hell. What's
Crispy
up,
Critter's
crispy
here.
critter?
What's up, Dopey? Been seeing Dopey6621 in the chat a lot here lately, man. Are you fairly new to the knife community, Dopey, or just new to commenting, or have I just been overlooking you? Hey, look who we have in the room, y'all. Look at that.
We got Mrs. OCD. What's up, Molly?
Got a damn celebrity up in this joint.
Yeah, we do with fancy fingernails and shit.
Yeah. Molly sent me a bake treat along with my spider coat. It was
a big old baked treat, like a whole cake. She sent you.
It was big, dude. It was a brick of this cinnamon crisp. It's kind of like a Rice Krispie treat, but I don't know what the actual crisp part was. Molly, what was that? What was the base ingredient?
Heroin.
When I received this thing, I'm telling you, man, this thing is making me question folding knives. It honest to God is. Because I can put it in my pocket. It carries the same. It's not in my way. It works better than a folding knife, and I don't have to worry about the lock.
Well, then stop buying folding knives then.
Demon Ops here. Dopey, I just never used to join the lives. Where'd it go? I've not been active till about 6 months ago. Gotcha. Oh, it's a new type of cinnamon toast crunch. Well, it's pretty damn good. I will say, not as good as your cinnamon coffee cake or crumb cake, whichever you call that. That 1/3 of an inch by 3/4 of an inch piece you sent me was quite delicious. Just enough to piss me off and make me want more.
I'm feeling pretty decent there, Jeffrey Dawson, and it's doing all right, Demonoc. It's still around.
Yes. Let's talk about that.
Talk about what? Me out doing manly things, breaking my manly arm, huh? Is that what you want to talk about, old man?
I guess so, yeah. Yeah, 2 trips to the ER in what? How many days?
7.
7 days apart. So you cut yourself improperly using a cutting tool.
And I was properly using a pry bar, though.
Yeah, but it wasn't a pry bar. It was a cutting tool.
It was a pry bar in that instance because that's what I needed it to be.
You know, the F5.5 has crossed my mind as many things, but a pry bar has never been one of them. Never thought to pry with an F5.5.
Well, because that's not all you had when you needed a pry bar.
I guess. Maybe you should carry a cold steel just for those.
I might just start carrying a pry bar, actually.
Yeah, pry bar. That's a hell of an idea. That, or I've got this folding pry bar here.
There you go.
You You could open a paint can or two with this thing.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. Oh wait, that's great. Yeah. And then 7 days later, you fall and break your arm doing childish things.
I guess if that's the way you want to put it.
Yeah. You know I'm jealous, dude. I wish my fat ass could skateboard. Of course, I couldn't skateboard when I was a kid. When I wasn't fat, I don't have any balance.
It's because all your weight's up top.
Yeah,
so damn top heavy, you're like a weeble wobble.
Exactly. You're 100% right. Oh. Yeah, got on my Hello Kitty t-shirt again tonight. This has become my Sunday, my official Sunday dress.
So next time you come to Huntsville on a Sunday, are you going to be wearing that shirt?
Sure.
All right. I'll hold you to that.
Yeah, I'll absolutely wear this shirt, especially in a town where people don't know me. We about due for some Jack Browns again, ain't we?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about that.
I was not impressed with the burger at the beer place. Not at all.
What burger was that? Oh, at the straight. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we went to that Bruin place. The burger was not good.
Well, that's because you didn't tell them how to cook it.
I didn't tell them something. Just a damn old frozen patty. It just wasn't very good. Yeah. So, look there, Vince is here.
Oh, Vince.
Why do you keep jumping in and then saying good night and leaving, dude? It kind of hurts my feelings. You left me all alone the other night to defend myself against that 9-year-old heathen. And here you are again, saying hello and good night.
What's up, ILK Jeremy?
Who?
He's got the flu.
Who's got the flu? Oh.
Vince has the flu.
Well, flu up. Vince, I'm sorry, buddy. I hope you're getting feeling better soon, man. Hey, you just got over the
damn Coofids.
The Coofid. Yeah, now he's got the flu. Huh. Probably got them lungs weak from the Coofid. Made him more susceptible to the flu.
That's probably what it was.
Yeah. Nick Martino, the hand's doing just fine, but he broke the other arm on top of it. Or is it the same arm?
No, it's a different arm. This is the hand, and then this is the arm.
So one hand is stitched up and one's in a cast.
Well, this one's stitched up too because they had to go in there and put a plate in it Friday.
Because your old man bones are brittle.
I reckon.
So you got some titanium. Did they anodize it?
No, but I told the daughter I said if it saved me some money, I got a knife scale I can bring. You can just use that.
Yeah.
Had to use his own shit.
Yeah. We need to anodize that thing sometime.
We should.
Yeah.
Put some of that damn what do they call it? The antropic shit or whatever.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Guys, I don't have a knife to tear apart tonight. I have a little project coming up, but just to be honest, just pure I wouldn't even call it laziness because I just haven't thought about it. I just completely forgot that I bought a power supply. I got the titanium wire. I just hadn't thought about using it, but I've got a hinderer around here somewhere that I bought a black micarta scale for. He
says all nonchalantly, got a hinderer just laying around somewhere.
Well, but it's because it literally is. I don't store my knives because I like to be able to see them all the time.
I gotcha.
How you doing, John? It's good to see you in here, buddy. Forrest SLR with a $2 dono. Thank you very much, sir. You have not informed me of when I need to pay you for my Hank yet. So let me know whenever you're ready for that, buddy. Well, I know I can't anode the micarta, but with the black micarta scale, I want bronze anode hardware. And it's $112 online, and I spent $70 for the stuff to do it myself. So, learn a little something. Can do more than one knife. Might even get some content out of it.
You might. Some very riveting content. No, it was just the one bone. Said that knife nut. It was the radius or whatever.
Forrest, I wasn't rushing you at all, buddy. I just didn't know how payment worked. If you needed it before it was done, just let me know whenever. I ain't rushing you at all.
There's a damn pretzel in the chat.
Hey, look, this artsy shit.
With that, I bet she does art. I mean, hello, Steph, with your smart ass.
What we got here? Stop, blood, arm, skateboard. That's exactly how I felt about it.
That about covers it.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt about it.
Say less.
Yeah. Oh, hey. So, I don't guess Justin didn't get that PM2 sold tonight, did he?
I don't know. I didn't even watch.
He was taking bids, but he never really said how much he had to have. I think he was trying to make a couple bucks off. I think he got to like $215. He still didn't take it. So I don't know. I'm really curious. I wish Gerald. I know Gerald moved, and he hasn't posted anything in a few months. But I would love to see a cutoff between 15V and K390. I just find it hard to believe that anything's ever going to outcut K390. I just don't. I mean, until we actually discover vibranium, I just don't understand how anything's going to do any better. But we probably thought that about S35 or S30 or whatever back in the day too.
Yes, we did. You should contact him. Tell him to do that. I'm sure he would.
I don't know. I think his feelings are kind of hurt. I don't know how motivated he is to do any more testing because his chart got corrupted. He can't even access it. He's got it all written down. He could redo the whole chart, but we all got lives. I guess he just hadn't had time to do it. For the longest time, I was the only person that he knew that could still access it. Like he would message me asking me questions about his own chart because he couldn't get to it. And luckily, I screenshotted, not all of it. I just screenshot the fine edge test and the working edge test and posted on Instagram. So it's there. There's a record of that. I didn't do the HRC and all that stuff. But anyway, there is a record of that on my Instagram if any of you guys need it, because I don't think it's not looking like we're ever going to have access to that thing again because I can't access it now.
So are you the one that messed it up?
No.
Oh.
No, he sent me a link. I think it was just because he sent me a link like 3 years ago. Maybe just because my link was that old, it still allowed me in. But one thing I was really impressed about is that it updated. So even though he sent me the link that long ago, every time he updated the chart, I got to see the updated chart because I think the last few entries were transparent knives MagnaCut at like 64.5 or something. Just astronomical numbers too, dude. It was right up there with your high end tool steels, with K390 and Maximat. But that was at 64.5, 65 HRC, somewhere around
there. We can't let Shane see this because he gets mad, but we'll double high pitch IPA right there.
I don't get mad.
There we go. Yeah, you just shut up.
Do them on your own damn channel on Tuesday nights like everybody's begging you to.
Well, they were asking for it here, so I'm doing it here. And this is from Highwire Brewing Company out of Asheville, North Carolina. And it's tasty.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. It's not as tasty as that Kentucky bourbon barrel aged peppermint IPA.
Well, I mean, that's just its own thing. I mean, you can't compare anything to that, really.
It's not even really a beer.
It's like an Andes Mint in a bottle.
Yeah, well, it's a shot of really smooth bourbon in it that you can barely taste. And what is that, like 18%? It's high alcohol, isn't it?
I think it was like 12.
Yeah. It's really shocking because it didn't taste alcoholic at all.
Oh, Vince gave you some money.
Vince, I love you, man. You know what I want to do? Vince, you are coming to Blade Show, right? I'd love to visit a strip club in Atlanta with Vince and Jason, the Puerto Rican with a knife. I think those two together, if we downed about 2 bottles of rum before we went, I think that would be the funnest and most expensive bail I've ever had to post.
Yeah, I was about to say that would end up in summer, all of y'all being in
Dude,
jail.
yeah. Hey, me and Meathead used to talk about this all the time. People talk about a good friend is that guy that'll come bail you out of jail at 3 o'clock in the morning. Dude, that's bullshit. That's a lie. A good friend is in jail with you
Yeah.
at 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. I would have never added Meathead to my call if I go to jail list. If I go to jail, he better go with me. It better be something we did together. Vance, you and Puerto Rican with a Knife, Jason. He's got a channel. I tried to highlight it a little bit last week. I'd do it again tonight, but I had to be prepared for that ahead of time and had some technical difficulties, so I couldn't. But go check out Puerto Rican with a Knife. First of all, not only is he super entertaining, but that dude never stops buying knives, dude. I'm in their chat group on Instagram. He literally is buying something or a couple of somethings every day.
Damn.
But he's kind of like Kevin, though. You know, he's buying, selling, trading. It's just everything's constantly on the move. So you never know. You never know what that guy's going to have every day. Luckily, I get a little sneak preview being on there, and you have to wait a few days for the video to drop. But yeah, that dude, he's a hustler, man. And I love that he starts every video, every short, the exact same way. It's kind of like the Metal Complex throwing the leather thing. He throws the package on the table and says, "What's up, fuckers?" Every single video, and I love it.
What's up, Freaky Keith?
Oh, Freaky Keith in the house. Maybe we could get Gerald to do a cut test on the Dolica.
I believe you probably could.
Yeah. Look there, Patina Turner.
Throwing up links.
Bod Extraordinaire has posted a link for Mr. Puerto Rican with a Knife. Wouldn't hurt my feelings at all, guys. Y'all jump over there right quick and subscribe, ring that bell, and come back. Or you can wait till after. But yeah, that's damn good knife content, man. Especially if, and I get it. I understand completely people who run family-friendly channels. That's great. You know, they're going to get way more subs, all that good stuff. But I like a channel with a little bit of attitude, and Jason's got it. So, yeah. Yeah, mind the middle. Hey, fuckers. And what's he always end it with? Cut something, cut somebody, but don't cut yourself. Something like that. I see Javon's in the house tonight. That's good to see. He ain't out bashing up somebody's car, running over crippled pregnant women, sitting still at red lights. That's good.
That is good. The streets are safe for the moment.
The streets are. That's one good. If you guys want to know when to drive through Huntsville, Alabama, it's Friday night after 8. That way you know Javon is not on the road and he's not going to bash into you for no reason. Yeah, he's a good dude. He can't drive for shit. I rode with him to Athens to go to the knife store. When I got out of the car, I was exhausted from being so tensed up the whole time. So, holy shit, I'm going to die. It's like Six Flags without the $80 entry fee. And that dude rides a skateboard. Woo. God, Molly, I love him. But, yeah. I was so happy, dude, when we went to the Nashville Custom Knife Show and I found out Jeff was driving. I was like, thank God. You could have come to my house. I had all my knives separated. I had my grandson's names written out in front of them. So he knew what to do with them. I was prepared for a road trip with Javon.
Dang, dude. I had the living will.
That lady got out and gave her the whole debate over hate speech. Oh, John, you know we love you, man. We just fucking we.
Vince says he's going to be on psychedelics at Blade Show.
Oh my God!
As if Blade Show needed to be any more interesting.
Yeah. Telling you, Vince, I'm too old to pick your big ass up and carry you out to the ambulance when Greg Medford wipes the floor of your ass. So just stay away from the Medford booth. Don't let Super Still Steve influence you into doing something you don't need to do, buddy. Because you know, Greg Medford's a badass. Don't think he just runs that mouth, but that dude will whip you.
I feel like between the two of us, we could carry Vince. I'd kind of like to see him throw down with Greg.
Yeah. Yeah. Big Blake 44. Is this Blake Hurst?
I don't know.
Or Blake Moore? They were both kind of into dirt track. That's a dirt track. I'm not sure which one. These get either way. It's a guy from here in my hometown, but I'm not sure which one I'm viewing. I know Big Blake Hurst had a channel there for a while. He had a that I was following. He had a gastric bypass and was kind of documenting his progression, and
He said Hurst.
It is Blake Hurst. Good dude. Let me tell you something.
Do you have a story?
Yeah. Well, just the fact that this dude doesn't have his own YouTube channel, because he is one of the funniest motherfuckers I've ever met in my life, dude. Blake Hurst, or Big Blake 44. Maybe he didn't want me to say his last name, but absolute right, dude. This dude is so funny. He was Blake was good friends with a guy that I was partners with in a mechanic shop, and I used to love when Blake would come by. I didn't get shit done when Blake would come by. Literally nothing. I was lucky to turn a single bolt, because I'd spend all day just cracking jokes with Blake. Super funny dude. It's good to see you in here, Bubba, and I hope you're doing well.
Do you go around Gadsden handing out flyers for the live stream or something?
No, I have no idea how he. Well, I've posted a couple of my videos on Facebook, so maybe that's how he knew I had a channel. But last time I saw Blake, I think it was before his surgery. I went to his house to watch a Ronda Rousey fight, and yeah, dude, we ate like kings. I don't remember how many hot wings we went through, but we threw them down, son. Yeah. Anyway, and if it is Blake Hurst, I apologize, deeply apologize for the fact that I thought you might be Blake Moore. That is two completely different people. They were both into dirt track, but yeah, Blake's kind of a douche, but I like him all right anyway.
Tell us how you really feel. What's up, Constantine?
Well, the other Blake's just one of those guys, that you just accept who he is, and you move on with it. Yeah, dude, it was almost hard watching Justin tonight. I asked him if he was airing in 2P. That was the grainiest. I know they've had internet issues before, and that is part of, living out in the middle of nowhere like they do, but I've never seen it as bad as it was tonight. That was as close to not being able to go live as I think you can possibly get. I told him it reminded me of trying to watch Playboy when I subscribed to Playboy back in the day. It was rough.
Yeah, he's had issues like that before in the past.
The guy can have geothermal heating in his home, but he can't have decent internet.
Nope.
I mean, he tapped into a fucking volcano to heat his home, and he can't figure out how to go live in 780. What are the odds of that?
Pretty good, apparently.
Yeah. You're right, Kyle. He should have called Shane Tech Support. When I called Stevie to try to figure out the problem I was having tonight, he gave me the absolute worst news, and that is that he's never had to try to use his account from an outside source because it's his account, and that I would have to talk to Maddie to figure out how to fix it. So not looking forward to that.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Speaking of assholes, I haven't seen Maddie in here.
Well, Dick and Ball's probably lurking somewhere.
Probably. Munching on pizza.
This dude is now spending money to train his kid how to fight. in the hopes that he can someday take me. And I will say this, it'll probably work out for Eli because by the time he weighs more than 44 pounds and learns how to fight, I'll be too old to defend myself. So,
Well, that should be a good fight to watch.
yeah. So, Tammy, you're right. We did. We just listened to them bicker. It was just like two blurry blobs arguing with one another for an hour and a half. And I meant blob because it was so fuzzy. I couldn't even see them. I literally couldn't see Molly's face. All I could see was like green with a little tan above it. I could tell Justin had on some overalls, which kind of
turns you on a little bit.
It makes my nether regions tingle a little bit when Justin's
I thought so.
His overalls. I ain't gonna lie about that. Kyle, you missed all the mad shit that was talked about you tonight, son. You weren't even there to defend yourself. If you can go back and watch that with the live chat turned on, even I was influenced to talk a little shit about you. So, yeah.
Well, why y'all got to talk about the man when he ain't there?
Because he deserves it.
Well, damn.
Yeah, Crispy, he is. He's gonna come up and smack me out of my rascal scooter one of these days. Yeah, like the old Atari games, kind of. Yeah, it was like Space Invaders with better commentary. Yeah, it was in 4-bit.
Yep, Kyle, that's exactly right.
Yeah, Kyle, we knew we didn't have a chance if you were there to defend yourself, so we took advantage of the moment.
It's because they're weak. What's up, Ninja? Good to see you, buddy.
There's a ninja. Ooh, ninja right there.
Oh, Nongerino.
The Juggling Ninja. One of the very first names in the knife community I come to learn. I think literally the first people that were really burned into my memory when I first started going to Grateful Parents Lives on Tuesdays was JN, Jason Brown, EDC Oz. I don't know. I've seen EDC Oz in one of my lives. Have you ever seen him in the chat?
I hadn't seen him in a while period, actually.
Maybe a bad time for him. I don't know. I need to I need to reach out to him. Yeah. Yep. But yeah, it was JN, Patina Turner.
Oh, Mikey Mo.
Yep, Mimo. JN, the man with the Rosie, allegedly. JN does have a Rosie. I've seen it.
He has a Rosie.
I just can't get over the fact that guy is not going to be on social. JN has an Instagram. Very few people know this, but you know it too, John. You remember the night that he told us that he downloaded the app. And I don't know if he set up his profile, how far he got, but he just stopped. He changed his mind.
Nope.
What's up, Ian Coates? I wore my Hello Titty shirt just for you tonight. I know how much you enjoy seeing me in pink, so kind of become a Sunday tradition that I wear this shirt.
There's another ninja in the house. What's up, Blumpkin?
Who? Oh, Bluminati?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bluminati getting all kind of exposure on my channel. Every time I do a tabletop review, there's Bluminati sticker right there. And I don't know why on camera it just seems to stick out to me more than the rest of them do.
It's got that pop. Apparently, Vince is begging. I don't know if you're ignoring him, but he's begging for a wrench. And then G-Ball's saying no.
Yeah.
It's a very polarizing subject.
Continue to ignore it and got away with it had you just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, no, but I wanted to bring it up and put you on the spot. See what you have to say about it.
I understand. Yeah. So let's just change the conversation because, I don't want him to think I don't love him.
I guess you're not getting a wrench, Vince. I tried. Sorry, buddy.
Vince he can't handle power. He can't handle having power. You just can't do it. He says, I got to share something, I promise.
I won't put the entire chat in timeout. What's up, P-Fly?
Brasher beer. Am I pronouncing that right? Is that how we're? Because I know for a long time people were calling you Brasher Bear, and then I realized that your name actually spells Bras Here Beer. And I think you're kind of right. Bras do here beer. You get enough beer in them, that bra just anyway.
So, how are we supposed to pronounce it? Bras here beer, brashear beer.
Yeah. How are we supposed to pronounce it? It'd be really cool if we could all stop saying it wrong. That's like John. I'd been calling Marshmallow 123 that for a year, and he was like, I can't believe all you people in the chat can't read and realize that says martial law. I thought it was Marshmallow forever, dude.
And I just called it Marshmallow because it looked like Marshmallow, but I mean, I knew who it was. And
Yeah, I thought he was ignoring me when I would add him, but it was because I was spelling Marshmallow 123. Yeah. Look, Patina Turner came in hot, posted it for Vince. Vince is doing another giveaway. Vince, you should have said something, but you'd be right here. You wouldn't need a wrench. You could have just joined us. Told the good people all about your giveaway. You know you're welcome on here anytime.
You just can't have a wrench.
Yeah.
He said it's brashear beer. Hello Titties was taken.
Hello Titties was taken. Yeah.
What's up, Greg Maroney?
Finishing off my Miralax. Sucks being old and having to drink Miralax every day just being a poop.
It does. It sucks even worse that you feel the need to talk about it.
Well, that's the problem with us, man. As we get older, we don't talk about things. We ignore them, and they become problems. So.
And then you got to talk about your problems.
Yeah, and it's not cheap either, dude. I spend I don't know. I think a month's supply is like $30-$40. That's a lot of money for some damn.
We're still talking about Miralax?
Yeah.
Damn. I hadn't got that old yet.
It is what it is. You're right behind me, y'all.
Well, when did you start having to?
I think it has a lot to do with the fact that I take, pain medicine every day.
Yeah. That could have something to do with it.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you my story about being at Collinsville Trade Day?
You told me, but you didn't tell the fine folks here.
Dude.
So I feel like you should regale us with this story. I think, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good story. Yeah.
So when I first got on my pain medicine regimen, I wasn't well informed of the side effects of opiates as far as for lack of a better term. And I knew some things had changed, but not enough for me to put two and two together and realize that something was really wrong and I needed to address it. And it didn't cross my mind that it was an issue until after this particular incident. So anyway, get up one Saturday morning to go to Collinsville Trade Day. That's kind of an Alabama tradition around here. You go up there, they got the Red Rooster Cafe, get you some breakfast and some delicious pancakes and biscuits and eggs and all that good stuff. So we go in and we eat breakfast at the Red Rooster. And you just walk right out the door and you're at Trade Day, dude. It's hick heaven. I'm talking about, dude, they sell everything from $2 pocket knives. There's a guy there that has a bucket of dentures. And you can try them on. It's on YouTube. There's a YouTube channel of these people that go around to different flea markets, and they came to Collinsville and they interviewed the guy. this whole bucket of dentures, and you can try them on to find the ones that fit you the best for, people who can't afford a couple $1,000 worth of dentures.
Did you try any on?
No, I'm just kind of giving you a feel for the kind of places.
Oh, okay.
You can buy fighting chickens. You can buy firearms with the serial numbers filed off. You can buy all kinds of shit up there. And about 100 yards from the Red Rooster is the second most famous spot in Collinsville Trade Day, the corn dog stand. So, after you eat breakfast, if you hang around long enough, and, you've bought a 50-pound sack of taters and maybe a fighting rooster or some dentures, whatever. If you're there long enough to eat lunch, you can stop by the corn dog shack. Well, right beside the corn dog shack is what appears to be an outhouse. Just a little 4x4 wooden upright box with a moon in the door, but it actually has a toilet in it. It has plumbing. So I make this 100-yard trek from the Red Rooster, dude. I didn't get that first cramp, second cramp. I skipped right past all that to that crippling, you've got to shit right now cramp. Luckily, I was in the right spot. So I make a beeline. My wife knew something. She could tell the look on my face. Something was wrong. I was like, I got to go. So I go in there and sit down, dude. All in all, I was in there a little over 20 minutes. This is middle of summer. So I'm pouring sweat. It's pitch dark. There's no light in there. So I'm sitting in the pitch dark, pouring sweat. Tears rolling out of my eyes, blood rolling out of my butthole. Dude, I'm trying to give birth to a cinder block, and it's literally the most painful thing I've ever experienced. I'll be honest, it was more painful than the third nut story. It was horrible. And it's like it got halfway out, and there was like a ridge in it or something. It just got hung, wouldn't go any further. It was like it had had a little dip in it. It just got there and would not move. So I'm sitting there long enough that I can hear people rattling the door. I can hear a crowd amassing outside because all these other people have to use the bathroom. They're all talking about how long has he been in there? What's taking so long? My little girl's really got to pee. And this time I know my family has bailed. They've left. There's no way they've hung around for this.
Did he die in there?
Yeah. So I finally realized, I got to do something. I can't just sit here all day. It's not going to fall out. So I muster up one final push, dude. I'm like seeing blasts of light. It's just horrible. And it comes out and makes this loud splashing noise. I can feel water hit my butt cheeks. And as soon as it does, I wipe and stand up and turn around because I got to see this. And it's just like a softball. And I realize that it's bigger than the hole in the bottom of the toilet. But I can't just leave it there, So I hit the handle, and as soon as they had excellent water pressure. As soon as I hit the handle, dude, the bowl instantly starts to fill up. And by the time I can get my pants buckled and re-zipped, there's water running across the floor and out the crack between the floor and the door onto the ground in front of all the people waiting outside. Dude, I come running out that door. I blast out that door and just scream, "It's broke! It's broke!" And run all the way back to the truck where I know my wife and daughter are waiting on me. They were not going to be hanging around to be even associated with that guy. And that was when I realized that, I had to start drinking a glass of water with Miralax in it every day, or I was going to die. So,
it's broke. It's broke.
I haven't been back to Collinsville Trade Day since. I'm scared to death. They got a picture of me hanging on the wall up there or something. I don't know. Yeah.
How many years ago was that?
Probably 7 years ago, maybe.
Oh, that's statute of limitations. They done forgot about you now, dude. You can go back.
Yeah. Experience Precision. I didn't even need to wipe. It was so dry that there was nothing on the toilet paper. And Kyle, you're right. I had to ride home like on sitting on one butt cheek. I couldn't even put my butthole on the soft Tahoe seat. I was in so much pain. It was horrible. He's a wanted man. Yeah. Can you imagine the poor trade day employee that had to go in there and break that thing up with a hatchet? Probably had to scoop it out with a shovel. Whew.
He might have had to burn it.
Yeah. 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 And Scott, to be honest, when I saw that thing, I thought, well, now I know how old dude at the tattoo shop that brought his boyfriend in to get tattoo feels. It was horrible.
What's up, Bama Ninja?
Oh,
Oh,
Bama
brother
Ninja
Timbo.
here tonight.
Yeah, brother Timbo's in here.
See, I don't know that a mashed potato tool would have worked. It was just too hard. I don't know if Kyle Coonley could sharpen a blade enough to chop through that thing.
He sharpens pizza cutters though. You could probably go at it with a pizza cutter.
I think he had to stop and strop that thing up a couple of times before it was done. Yeah. Died on the toilet of a heart attack. I had a friend that did that. Sure did. And I ain't gonna lie, having heart trouble, it did scare me a little bit. But he literally sat down and pushed a little too hard and just fell over dead. You imagine, dude, paramedics come in, you're just laying there in a fetal position on the bathroom floor with a big log in the toilet. There ain't no way for a man to go.
It ain't.
Yeah. Very sad. He was young, too. Didn't even know he had a heart problem. I don't even think he was, if he was 30, he was barely 30. Just, I got a buddy that's passed out on the toilet a bunch of times drunk. And, yeah, that drop in blood pressure when shit happens. Yeah, he'd pass out on the toilet all the time. We found him one day that looked like he left a little Hershey Kiss right on the front of the seat. It was a perfect Hershey Kiss, dude. I guess it just fell out as he was passing out and falling off the toilet. We took pictures of it and everything.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
What's up, Carco?
Scotty, and I'm sure you did. A lot more people die on the toilet than what people like to believe. I thought I wanted to be a fireman one time, and I absolutely loved it. But the medical calls, dude, they're just too much. Yeah, and it's not just the the gory and the grotesque that bothered me. It was seeing. It was just witnessing what human beings are capable of doing to one another that I couldn't handle. And I'm not talking about just violent acts. It was one in particular where it was an elderly lady who was signing over her Social Security check for this younger lady to take care of her when we found her. It just, yeah, man.
Hey, do you know somebody named Massfaction?
I heard of him, dude. He's got a YouTube channel, but he's an asshole. Nobody really likes to watch him.
Oh, I guess that's why I hadn't heard of him. Massfaction, I think that's his name.
Matty, no semen talk tonight, buddy. We're strictly a feces. We're on the feces topic tonight.
Straight poop for that ass.
Because one of my opiate shits was no joke, the size and shape of a Nerf football. Yeah, that's about where I was at. I mean, I didn't measure it, but it was at least softball size with a ridge right in the middle of it. How did that even happen? What created that? I think what it was, I tried to pinch it off, and I just smushed a ditch in it so it wouldn't ever come out. But G-ball, like I said, whenever you're pushing and you get that relief, you have an instant, pretty significant drop in blood pressure. So if you have a heart condition, Yeah, you can die right there on the toilet. Yeah.
Do you think you could have spun it like a spiral?
I mean, don't be it can, but it's not recommended.
Put that over here. My damn right arm don't work.
And Dick and Balls, don't be trying to rob cool lines from Fight Club.
Is Dick and Balls in here? I like that guy. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like him a lot better than that Manufacturing guy.
Are they related?
I don't know.
Are they like know each other or something?
The man said it was firm enough to play catch with. I'm convinced I could have threw mine through a car window.
I'm still picturing your big ass bolting out of there yelling it's broke.
I didn't know what else to say, man. I mean, I was literally in tears. I was in so much pain. I was crying. Whew. It was rough, man.
I would have liked to have known the situation and then been able to stick around to see everybody's reaction to what they just beheld.
When I came out that door, everybody's eyes were all big. They were all staring at me. It was horrible. There was at least 40 people gathered around waiting to see what come out of that outhouse.
And that's what they got right there.
Yeah, I mean, it was so much water, dude, that when I opened the door, it like rushed out like a wave. I mean, it was building up that fast. It was incredible how fast that. I mean, like I said, it's only probably it was just enough room to sit down on the toilet. Your knees were 6 inches from the door, and it just filled up with water. It was wow. Yeah, you're correct. She absolutely is, dude. The shit that woman has put up with and been through. She knew after about the 5-minute mark we was gonna go back to the car and wait on old boy.
It's not gonna be good.
Yeah.
And we do not want to be associated with the events that are about to transpire.
Absolutely. That kind of ties into my other story, the most weight I ever lost at one time. I know I've told you that one too.
Well,
I got up one night.
Hit them with it.
I was thirsty, and I walk into the kitchen. All I had on was my underwear, and I see the scale sitting there. Well, I'd been losing a significant amount of weight, so every 4 or 5 days I was weighing myself, and I stepped on the scale and weighed, and got a sip of water. And on the way back to my room, I got that urge, and I realized I was like, "Oh man, it's been at least a week." I know it's been maybe 10 days since I've been to the bathroom. So I sat down. I was in there probably another one in 20, 25-minute nights. I did learn something that night, though. When you're in that situation and you're getting excruciating pain, stand up. Standing up seems to ease the pressure. So, yeah, went through this whole process. Once again, it was horrible. And finally, when it came out, I had 10 days worth backed up behind it. It all just fell out. And the first thing that crossed my mind was, I just weighed. I've got to go weigh again. I've got to know. 8 pounds. 8 pounds. Yeah.
Of doo-doo.
After drinking a 32-ounce glass of water. You know, I weighed, drank 2 pounds of water, used the bathroom, came back, and I weighed 8 pounds less.
So that was a 10-pound shit easy.
Yep. I don't even count the 2 pounds of water because, like I said, you know, all I could prove was the 8 pounds I lost in 20 minutes. And I'm currently taking stool softener now. I learned the hard way that you can't skip a day. It has to be it has to be a regimen. You gotta take that stuff every day.
Hey, old Timbo said he's got to have some tests run. Need some prayers.
Who did?
Timbo, Bama Ninja.
Oh,
Said he's got to have a stress test tomorrow. Doctor found something irregular on his EKG.
Yeah. T's and P's, Bama Ninja. T's and P's, buddy. Hope it all works out for you. That's right, you're right. That's a lot of shit. I knew it was a lot when there was no water in the bowl. I wonder if Steph's still here.
Probably not. Lord, I hope not.
We all complain about not having enough females in our algorithm watching our stuff.
But then we talk about doo-doo.
Yeah, then we talk about doo-doo, expect them to hang around.
Well, if any female is going to hang around for doo-doo talk, it's going to be her. I can honestly say that. Yeah. Y'all don't scare me.
Dude, we ought to go up to Collinsville Trade Day one Saturday, John. It's like a redneck rite of passage. They got some cool stuff up there.
I can get me some dentures.
Yeah. There's a guy up there that makes molds and makes things out of concrete. I bought a concrete skull from him. They sell like you can buy an Indian headdress. Yeah. All kind of cool stuff.
Well, that's what I would want. Indian headdress all the way.
Yeah. Patina. That's funny, dude. You're right. It probably was pink.
She said y'all are background noise, like listening to a podcast about taking shits.
Yeah. People take shits, man.
They do. Everybody shits.
Yeah. Don't act like you don't. Not everybody takes 8-pound shit.
No.
And
nor shits that traumatize an entire trade day.
Look who else is in here. There's old Big Chap.
Who's Big Chap?
Me and Big Chap got some stories. Big Chap's my buddy from right here.
You do be handing out flyers when you go live, don't you?
This many local people in my chat. I actually called Big Chap the night that I took the 8-pound shit. Tell him in the chat. Chap, did I not? Yes, sir. I sure did. I didn't know what to do. He was trying to talk me into reaching back there and snapping it off. I couldn't bring myself.
Oh, you called him mid shit?
Yeah.
Oh.
I've been there 20 minutes, dude. I was bored. I didn't know what to do. I thought, see there, he definitely did. I thought he'd have some decent advice for me, something, man.
He told you to break it off. Yeah.
He said, you might just have to reach back there and pull it out. I hope it don't break off. Yeah. That is a good one, Kyle. Y'all guys don't know how hard it is being in a battle of words with a 9-year-old, though. Yeah, I don't know where to draw the line. I don't know what's acceptable and what's not when you're making fun of a kid. Yeah.
I mean, you're just, in general, not supposed to make fun of kids.
Yeah.
I think that's where you draw the line.
The chap said I was worried sick. He didn't think I was going to make it. Well, like I said, when you got heart problems, man, that can be a big deal. You know, you literally could go to push real hard and just fall over dead. Yeah. Chap's the reason. The VA thinks it's ringing in my ears. It's from being in the military, but it's not. It's from Big Chap. And in case y'all are wondering, Big Chap is bigger than I am. Not fatter than I am, but Chap's a couple inches taller than me. He's a very large ginger. And I was at the bar one night with this particular female that created a ton of drama in my life anyway. You know, Chap's trying to be a good buddy and tell me to stay away from her and all that stuff. But anyway, I was there with her. And she had me good and pissed off. And I walk outside and I see old Chap coming from 2 blocks away. And when Chap's in a good mood, he's got this little head bob that he does when he walks. His head kind of bobs like this when he's being cocky. So for 2 blocks, I watched him walk towards me like that. And the closer he got, the madder I got. I don't know why. I just couldn't stand that he was in that good a mood and I wasn't. So when he got right up to me, I just, from way back, I jack slapped him. I slapped the taste clean out of his mouth. I'll never forget, his old head went back and he just froze there for a minute, just soaking into pain, turning it into power. And he slapped me back, dude, and cupped my ear when he hit me. And still to this day, I can't hear shit out of my left ear. It's just a constant loud ringing sound. Just a constant reminder not to slap Big Chap.
Well, you learned your lesson, didn't you?
I sure did. He sure slapped me back. I needed it though. I needed woke up. Nearly all my bar stories revolve around Big Chap. All my drinking before that was in the woods with Meathead. Me and Meathead never really bar hopped together. Me and Chap was my bar hopping buddy. You never slapped me. Damn right I did. I learned my lesson that night.
Well, speaking of Mikey Mo, he's up in the house too. What's up, Michael Morgan?
I'll tell you how strong Chap is. We were in a bar one night. It was one of our regular stomping grounds, but that was the bar you went to, and all the other bars closed. Like nobody was there until 1:30 a.m. and they'd stay open till the sun came up or until a huge fight broke out, whichever happened first. And we were in there one night, and we didn't know that a particular motorcycle club had rented the bar out. However, the owner actually slept on Chap's couch for a little while. But anyway, he was a good buddy of ours, so he let us in. It was Chap. Do you remember the name of the motorcycle club? It's a local chapter of this all-black Harley riders group. And one of them even played linebacker for the Baltimore Ravens. So it's me and Chap and about 50 black bikers. And we're just having a good old time. And one of the only other white dudes in there was this little guy that was running the music. And I still, and I don't think he can even answer why, but Chap decided he didn't like that dude running the music and wanted to whoop him, which happened about every weekend. He'd get drunk and whoop somebody. And I was trying to tell him, I was like, Chap, man, this dude really don't deserve an ass whooping. He ain't done anything wrong, man. He don't deserve an ass whooping. And Chap's like, well, he's going to get one. So as he starts to head towards it, keep in mind at this time I weighed at least 350, if not 370. And when I see Chap make a fist, I just lunged forward and wrapped both arms around his right bicep. And it didn't faze him. He still threw the punch with me in the air, dangling off his arm. Oh, it was horrible.
So did he whip his ass?
No, me hanging off his arm was just enough to give the guy time to get out of the way. Chap, he was not hitting on your soon-to-be ex-wife, dude. I was standing right there listening to the conversation. He was talking to her. He was not hitting on her. I tried to tell you that night. I've been trying to tell you that ever since. The guy didn't do anything wrong. He was just being friendly. Probably because he was one of 4 white people in a bar full of bikers, and wanted to align himself with those 2 big dudes, and you ruined that for him. Yeah. Our local dance club used to be called Peabody's. I forget what it's even called. Lucy's Afterlife, I think it's called now. It's kind of the same way. It don't open until all the other bars shut down, but yeah, you go in that place when the lights are on and there's holes all in the ceiling everywhere, where Chap used to just walk through there punching holes in the ceiling just for fun. And, yeah, I carried on a conversation with him while he was holding somebody's head on the bar. He'd punch him in the face a few times and turn, carry on just a casual conversation with me. Nothing about why he's punching this guy or nothing. And he'd just go back to pounding it.
So how's your mama now? They doing pretty good.
Yeah. Now all we do is sit around and talk about how great we used to be, the outlaws we used to be.
The good old days.
Did Cap ever answer? Do you remember the name of the motorcycle group? I remember
No, Kyle Coonley. I can dress myself. Thank you very much.
they had their leathers on, but I don't remember the name of it. All of them was super nice guys, man. We hung out with them for a good while.
It just takes me a little while.
Yeah. That's a good question, Kyle. Is Joanne having a lot?
I just answered that damn question, you idiot.
I was talking.
I know you're running your damn mouth. No, I can dress my damn self. It just takes me a little longer.
Oh.
But as you notice, I cannot put my hair in a ponytail these days.
And you're right. We all had them glory days, buddy. I sure do miss them. You have a good night, bud.
Take care, Aunt. Rough Riders or something like that.
Was it? Yeah. Yeah, because we had another buddy show up who wasn't about 180 pounds, and that retired linebacker from the Ravens come out the bar. Chap used to have this shirt. What did it say? I remember what the back said. No, the front said. Chap, what was on that shirt? Because that's what the guy come out the door yelling. The chap had a shirt that said, "We don't rent pigs," on it. Now, if you don't know what that's from, oh shit, I might forget. It's a Western movie with Robert Duvall. God, everybody's seen it, man. It was like a 3-part. Yeah.
You talking about damn. It's the miniseries.
Yeah. Yeah, on the back of the shirt.
Lonesome Dove.
Lonesome Dove, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a sign that said, "We don't rent pigs," because the man that rents pigs would be hard to stop. And, yeah, but on the back it just said, "Say when." Well, this hulking chunk of steroids and testosterone comes out the door trying to get Chap's attention. And our other buddy, who's maybe $180, all he sees is this large man come out the door behind Chap. This is right after he tried to annihilate the poor little DJ, screaming, "Say when! Say when!" So he thought this guy was trying to fight his buddy Chap. And the most impressive thing I've ever seen, dude, he posted up right in front of this dude, got right in his face and stopped him. And I was like, dude, he's going to kill you before we can put him off of you. But hey, that's when you know you got a buddy right there, man. Brandon wasn't scared. He had Chap's back for sure that night, but luckily he was just trying to tell him something. He wasn't trying to fight him. Oh, man.
I'll be honest with you, Patina. I had trouble doing art with 2 hands, so.
Does Aflac give you a check for not being able to masturbate?
Do what?
Does Aflac have a masturbation disability clause you can use?
No, I looked into it.
Did you?
Yeah. I ain't getting no money for that.
Damn.
I was like, but I need to buy groceries.
I seen somebody here say something about them hiring you a nurse or something. You still have that Say When t-shirt, Chap? I'm surprised I hadn't stole it yet. I'm just really big about stealing Chap's clothes.
You stole that shirt?
I don't think I didn't steal that one. I think he'd have took issue if I'd stole that shirt. I stole his Keen sandals and a pair of Hurley shorts. You know my picture of me on the beach posing?
Yeah, we know that very well.
Yeah, I stole those shorts from Chap. You lost it at Peabody. Did you lose it during the hard body contest? That was one of the greatest nights ever, dude. Chap's got this cousin. We'll just call him Jay, who was a male model, kind of a pretty boy. Very, very popular within town, in this town, amongst the women. And Peabody's decided one night they were going to do a male hard body competition. Now, if you had asked anybody in there, they'd tell you that Jay was a shoe-in to win it. Because it went by applause by how much noise the crowd made. And Big Chap ended up winning it, and it was the greatest moment. It was the most proud moment for big guys of all time. To see him up there with his dad bod and his belly, big J out for the hard body contest was the most amazing thing ever. Because everybody in this town loved Jeff. Everybody knew Jeff, so everybody cheered for him. He's right. I stand corrected. It wasn't one. He won 7 of them bitches in a row.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was at the bar buying a female acquaintance of beer. This particular bar, dude, if you went up there to buy a beer, you better buy 4 because it's going to take you a while to get back up there. So I'd ordered like 6 beers for us. And apparently Chap had went to high school with this young lady. Because, you know, all my friends were 15 years younger than me. And he paid for all 6 of those beers just because of who I was with. I didn't even know him. I didn't know who he was. And like the next night, I ran into him at another bar, and we were inseparable from that point forward. If you saw me in a bar, you could bet your ass you'd find Chap. That's somewhere. He was there. Yeah, we had a lot of good times together.
So you actually have friends?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I got a few.
Proud of you, big guy.
Yeah.
Tim said when Shane said cousin, I thought this was going to be a different story. That's an honest mistake to make right there.
Yeah, Bama, can't nobody blame you for that one, buddy. You never know where that's going to go. Yeah.
You got to highlight Michael Morgan's comment.
The latest one?
Yeah.
Alabama is the sandwich capital of the world because everything's in bread. Actually, I think we're not even at the top of the list for incest. I think
there's a list for that shit.
Yeah, I know Kentucky, West Virginia, and Mississippi are ahead of us. We used to talk every day till you knife nerds took him from me. Well, champ, you were a knife nerd. You got me into this, dude. You started all this. That's how my knife nerdery started, was with Chap.
Oh, so you're blaming this on him?
Yeah, it's 100% his fault.
Yep. He's just trying to be a good friend, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly, Bettina. Why do you know that, Shane?
When I know what?
The incest list.
It was on a YouTube video I watched one night. Apparently, like, after all the 23andMe, all that started, they started like tracking it, and the highest percentage of people with common DNA. At that point in time, that's been a few years ago when I looked, but I think it was Kentucky, West Virginia, Mississippi. But keep in mind, guys, those percentages are super low. It's not as common as y'all think it is.
So this was after your big tear, huh? They weren't factoring in all your dalliances with.
Never committed incest, John.
Okay, we'll leave it at that.
Damn it, Shane.
I believe West Virginia is known more for coal mining than they are incest. So let's give them some credit.
Well, you know, we make fun of it, man. It's still pretty common in a lot of European countries. I mean, there's still royalty over there that are marrying their cousins, their first cousins, or nieces, or whatever.
I mean, if she's hot.
Well, I think that the thought back then, though, amongst royalty was that you didn't want to taint royal blood. So they would marry family members so that they weren't bringing in people from outside royalty, you know, because then you'd start spreading royalty amongst others, and there's less and less power and less money
I mean, it's solid logic.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't always turn out so great.
No.
That's why it confuses me when people talk about Game of Thrones. You're like, why do they include all this incest? Well, it's because that's the way it was back then. It was very common. But there's somebody now. There's like one of Queen Elizabeth's family members, not one, more than one, are married to family members.
You know, when people justify the whole Game of Thrones thing with that's what happened back then, it's fantasy, dude. There's dragons and shit. That didn't happen back then.
Right.
There is no back then with this. It's all made up.
And what's the worst part of Game of Thrones for knife people? Because every time we see them heat that fucking dagger up till it's cherry red, and they just let it cool off at room temperature. It's ruined.
Well, that's how they did it back then, Shane. Damn.
Yeah. I know it was fiction, Kyle. I'm just saying, it's just peculiar to me that when people talk about it, that's a big deal. But it wasn't a big deal in the timeline that Game of Thrones was
so
attached to.
It's peculiar to you that people wonder why some dude made up a story and had to throw some incest in there.
Yeah, because it was commonplace amongst royalty in that era. It's still commonplace.
You're going to die on that damn hill, ain't you?
I didn't make it up. I didn't write the book. Said Stevie did.
But you're fighting for it.
Well, I stand behind anything Stevie does.
Well,
the fact that he wrote Game of Thrones and it took off the way it did is awesome.
That was back before he started making beard products, though.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that Valerian steel. I'm convinced Valerian steel's Magna Cut. That is weird to think, though. Kind of get back on the knife subject. I actually pondered that thought just for a little while here, a while back, to think about the fact that some countries and some regions, there's no doubt in my mind that had to happen, that some battles were won or lost just because of the ore in the ground of that particular region. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
some countries could just produce better. The blacksmithing practices were all pretty much the same, but because, this country's iron ore might have contained a little vanadium, their swords were snapping the enemy's swords in half. Just weird to think about shit like that, about, how much of an effect it could have had on world history. Just steel makeup, back in the day.
I mean, that's just luck of the draw with about anything.
Not whores, oars.
Whores?
Oars.
Oh. Okay, I got you.
Bama Ninja, if you like dragons and swords and naked women, you should check out Game of Thrones. Even though you spelled Game of Thorns.
So, short answer, yes, it's good.
Yeah, it's probably the best television ever made, in my opinion. Well, I don't know. When people ask me if it was better than The Wire, they were so different. But I think The Wire would be more universally accepted because it's not fiction, it's not fantasy. But the writing for The Wire and the acting, everything about The Wire was absolutely incredible. I think, Michael B. Jordan was in that when he was like 13, 14 years old.
Before he played for the Bulls.
No, Michael B. Jordan.
Oh.
Before he played on Black Panther. Before he played Apollo Creed's son in the new Creed movies.
So he never played for the Bulls?
No.
Oh.
That's why he always puts the B in his name. You're right, I saw that, Brandon. I don't remember which one it was. But I did see that one of the actors died the other day. It's a damn good show.
You are correct, Timbo. You are definitely in trouble.
If I correct your spelling. That's funny. It's good stuff. Yeah, Bettina, you're right. I was mad at Bettina for a couple of days there, dude.
Why were you mad at Bettina?
Well, because El Cap brought up the fact that he had climbed El Capitan. I went down this rabbit hole on YouTube, just kind of looking up stuff about Yosemite because I've been there, and so I'd messaged Patina about it, and he had to go and fill me in and send me links on how horrible white people are and what we did to the Indians that lived in Yosemite Valley when we discovered it. Just ruined it for me. Took all the fun out of it.
Which I had never, I guess, knew for a fact he had climbed it, but I kind of got that from his name. I was gonna ask him if he had free climbed it or.
That's 3,000 feet, dude.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
Patina pisses everyone off. He rarely talks to me now.
Yeah.
That is not true. He does not. Patina is the nicest person in the world, or one of them.
See, I did not ask you for history. What I said was I can only imagine the horrible things we did to those people.
So then he just proceeded to tell you.
Could have just left it at that, and Patina had to fill me in. I think it is odd that we named that big lake after that chief, after we, raped and murdered all of his family members and ran him off his land. We were nice.
It was the least
to name the lake after him. Anyway,
it was the least we could do.
Yeah. Yeah. El Cap says I stand on gear 95% of the time. Hey,
okay.
Look at there. He correctly used a Matilda too. El Cap must be much smarter than we give him credit for.
Well, I don't know how much credit you give him. I give him a lot of credit. Yeah. I think you're just a judgmental prick.
I just thought the Matilda is an underused symbol. It's pretty universal. I think we should use it more. Hashtag bring back the Matilda. It can mean and, or, roundabout, kinda, sorta. Yeah.
Just something to fill in a space.
Yeah. He used it correctly though.
He did.
When you say I stand on gear, you're not free solo and you're hooked.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about it. Dude, we were so stupid. It was just a bunch of us 18, 19-year-old kids in the military, and we'd go up to I just learned the name of the river a few days ago, and I forgot it already. The Kiana River, I think it is. It's the holds the record in the United States. It's the river with the most elevation drop of any other river in the country. But we used to hike up it, like in the water, to get to this cave. Long story, I ain't gonna go into it, but
was that the mythical cave where you found the mermaids and the hole to heaven or whatever that you told me about?
It's really cool though that it's been that long ago before the internet and all that stuff, and now knowing the name of the river, I can watch YouTube channels and see people parked and reading the historical marker right where I was in 1990. I don't know. It's cool to me that 30-something years later. And I assumed they had tore the water flume down, but they haven't. There's a video from 2022. I guess it's in the fall because it used to be hard to see. You couldn't see that flume from the road. You had to climb up into the woods a little bit, and there was this half-pipe flume that rushed snowmelt down from the mountains and fed Tulare County. That's where they got their water. Yeah, it's just been cool going back and kind of reliving some of that. But what I was getting at, there was times during that hike we would have to cross one side of the gorge to another. So, we're making these jumps from one rock slab to another with, 40-foot drop beneath us. And we just had some rope. We just tied around our waist, and we had this one guy that was super athletic. He always did the jump first, and we'd throw him the rope and he'd be holding it as we jumped over. Extremely unsafe. The fact that none of us ever got hurt up there was crazy.
Is that it? That's the end of the story?
Yeah, pretty much.
I felt like there was more. You didn't tell us about the mermaids.
There were no mermaids.
There was in the story you told me.
There were some mermaids, but we took them with us.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like you brought them there, or you brought them from there?
We brought them there from
Oh,
us.
okay.
I don't know if it's like that now, dude. But Visalia used to have the highest density of beautiful women, and the percentage of them to men was incredible. Visalia was a place to be if you were, especially if you were young and had a southern accent. It was like shooting fish in a barrel. But yeah, we'd hike up there with half cases of beer and backpacks on our back and ecstasy and Ziploc bags. Woohoo! Party our asses off all weekend long. You know, I think back on now, what somebody had got hurt.
Y'all have been screwed.
Yeah.
Out in the middle of nowhere.
It took us hours to get up there. Never thought about the fact that there are mountain lions up there. None of that ever crossed our minds. You know, we saw a lot of water snakes, but yeah, the fish were even weird. Like the little sucker fish in that water, you could literally, them and the trout, you could put your hand underneath them and just lift them out of the water. They wouldn't even flop around and try to get away. It's like they didn't fear you. I guess they just hadn't had any human contact. I don't know. It was strange.
Where were you stationed at out there?
I was stationed at Naval Air Station Lemoore, which
Okay.
is middle of nowhere. Patina, I tell you, it's now famous for. That's where that surfer. Is that surfer's name? Casey something. That's where he built his big wave machine. The surfers come from all over the
Kelly
world.
Slater?
Kelly Slater, yeah.
Okay,
and it's also famous for that's where WEC started. The World Extreme Cage Fighting that the UFC bought. That's Lemoore. But Lemoore is just literally just, it's just desert, man. Nothing there to do. But 2 to 3 hour drive, you can experience anything. You know, you can be at Pismo Beach eating clam chowder at Brad's and boogie boarding, and then, you know, leave there in your shorts and t-shirt and drive into the mountains and have a snowball fight or go sledding all the same day.
Yeah, that's where I ended up living. That damn sure true. You could go anywhere within a day's drive and do anything, any time of the year.
Yeah, it was a great place.
But Brad's wasn't the chowder place at Pismo. It was what was the name of that place? They served it in bread bowls.
Brad's is the only chowder place in Pismo.
No.
Brad's has won the clam chowder world championship damn near every year since they started doing it.
I can't remember the name of the place, but it had a big mural painted on the outside of the wall, and that was the place to get the clam chowder.
Yeah, well, you got second-rate clam chowder, pal.
No.
If you didn't get Brad's, you did.
Got world famous clam chowder. Yeah. It's actually a Hello Kitty t-shirt.
That's right. Who asked about that?
Timbo.
Oh. Yeah. Hello, Titty. This is a gift from my good buddy. Which is this correct?
What?
Am I pointing at you?
Yeah.
Okay. I know everybody usually gets that wrong. Stevie never knows which direction to point in. And you're pointing away from me. That's right.
I'm not mirrored.
Yeah.
Or I am mirrored. That's what it is.
Yeah, last time I looked at Brad's, it looks like the whole menus went like
Splash. That's it. Patina Splash Cafe. That's it. That's the best damn place to get clam chowder.
Oh, it's not.
Yes, it is. He'll tell you.
It might be now, but 1990, there was no better place to eat clam chowder than Brad's in Pismo Beach. Apparently, Pismo Beach is like the clam capital of California. Something about the currents.
Well, hell, I was only there like 4 years after that, and Splash was the way to go then. So Brad's fizzled out quick.
I looked Brad's up recently, dude. And it's all like vegan tacos and shit. Dude, back when we were going there, they had, you know, world championship clam chowder, and it was really cool because you don't get to see that kind of stuff being from Alabama. But the seating was outside; they just had lattice above you, and you know, like ivy vines were growing through it. You know, just the thoughts of not having a roof on a restaurant preposterous in Alabama, but there I guess it works. But they had this huge fire pit, man. It was probably 8x8, and there was a guy with this like a shovel handle with a big spatula on the end of it, flipping tri-tip or whatever meat you order. God, it was so good, man. Tina, have you ever tried Brad's? I see you say that's where I've always gone. I don't know if you're talking about the place that. Yeah, I'm assuming you must go to Splash. Like I said, Brad's menu didn't look anything like it did when I was there the last time I looked. It was all vegan California beta bullshit.
Kyle said Brad's, Huntsville is smartest. What other wrong Shane facts do we want to list?
That wasn't wrong. I mean, I don't know. I don't recall whether I looked up if it's per capita, if it's percentage, but, it was legit. And then Steve pops in with a damn knife statement just out of nowhere. Just want to talk about cutting tools and shit.
Spydercos are the best knives. We'll roll with it.
Yeah. But Tan, next time you go, check out Brad's and let me know if it's still good. It was awesome back in the day. It was also probably the first time I ever experienced a restaurant like that. All the waitresses were little young gals with little bubble butts hanging out their khaki shorts and their white spaghetti string shirts.
That's just Pismo Beach, dude.
Yeah, I just never. Yeah, we had a really good weekend down there with some chicks from some big liberal college out there. Can't remember the name of it now, but I don't think it was very far from Pismo.
Oh, it was probably Cal Poly San Luis.
I don't think it was Cal Poly San Luis. It was kind of long like that, but it sounded like it started with a P maybe. But I remember they all had, when we met them, they all had on like bikini bottoms and their college hoodies. Anyway, had a good time that weekend.
Too bad you couldn't get some good clam chowder.
I did. I got excellent clam chowder.
But not the best, so.
Oh, by far.
How do you know? You never had Splash. Comes in a damn sourdough bread bowl, dude.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I can't imagine anything being better than that. It was perfection.
Oh, Patina said Port Hueneme.
Now, Port Hueneme was, that's where I went to A school. I did spend a good bit of time at Port Hueneme, but Port Hueneme is where I got in trouble.
See, Pedro knows Splash Cafe. See?
Maybe I did miss out, but I know it's the best I've ever tried. And the tri-tip there was, God, so good. Do you notice that, John, that nobody in Alabama knows what tri-tip is?
Nobody but people from California know what tri-tip is, I swear.
You can
it does not exist because most people throw that cut of meat away.
Yeah, you go to a butcher shop and ask for tri-tip around here. They don't have a clue what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But apparently, it's like the intersecting piece of meat of three other cuts.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's not like a steak, though.
It's not like a steak, but it's not like a roast. I mean, you just grill it up and then slice it.
Yeah, it's really best sliced and made into a sandwich. But
yeah.
I miss tri-tip, and it was dirt cheap. Tri-tip was cheaper than ground beef in California. So every weekend you were eating tri-tip. Somebody had an awesome tri-tip recipe, and but a lot of people don't know that how much agriculture there is in the state of California. Once you get away from the beach and especially if you get past the grapevine, the area I was in was nothing but agriculture. And to look at it, you would think nothing would ever grow here. It's just light, tan, silty sand. As long as they pump in water.
With dead grass.
Yeah. But we didn't have any grass on base. There was they had out in front of the base where the base captain's fighter jet was up on a pole. It's probably a 40 by 40 area around it that they had planted. They put sod down for grass, but there was no grass anywhere else. It was just dust. Yeah. And then I'm sure Patina has seen this, but if you're from the South, when I first got there, I thought it had snowed because there was this white, the ground was covered in this white stuff. It's like this white crystallized
Meth.
something. It looks just like meth. Like you pick it up, it looks like a sliver of meth. It's just this sodium crystallite that, and I don't know why, but there's patches of it everywhere where it sits on top of the ground. So my appendix ruptured and I got all sick that day. I thought that's what caused it because underneath the galley where I'd been working, it was an inch thick and everywhere. So I'd been rolling around in it all day and I thought it made me sick. I had no idea I was poisoning myself.
You've done that a lot in your life, haven't you?
I think it's just part of being dumb.
Rolling around in shit that's potentially poisoning you.
Yeah, I think it's just part of being dumb. You put yourself in positions that you probably should. Snoopy one, I want some 15V2, but I don't know. I don't know how I want to experience it yet. I'm thinking I might just want a mule in 15V, but I don't know. I mean, I've got enough Manics or Mani. Got a PM2. I had an excellent shaman and sold it because I like the Manix XL better, so I can't see buying a shaman in 15V for myself.
This one here, this shaman?
Shaman.
That's the one you sold? Mm-hmm. It's a good shaman. That was left-handed.
Yeah.
Great shaman.
Sodium potassium. Yeah. It just lays right on top of the sand out there. It can get so thick it looks like snow on the ground. And it crunches when you walk. I mean, it's just like crystal meth. The more I think about it. Yeah.
Now you can't stop thinking about it.
Yeah. I wasn't a fan. I ain't gonna lie, I tried it a few times. And it just didn't I don't know. Wasn't something I wanted to be into. What's up, Seems Logical?
Brother Ryan, what's happening, brother? Oh shit, what'd I do? Did something.
One thing, I don't think you'll regret it, buddy. I'm super glad that I got to experience one. I have zero complaints about it, and when people ask me why I prefer the Manix XL, I can't answer it. I honestly don't know, but I do. You know, it spent weeks at a time laying there, you know, while I picked up something else. That's the only reason why I sold it to John. You know, do I believe it could be your one and only pocket knife for the rest of your life? Absolutely, it could. You know, there may even come a time when I regret getting rid of it, and I probably would regret it more if you didn't have it. To be honest with you, you know, if I'd sold it to a stranger, I'd probably be missing it more already.
Well, I mean, and if the day comes that you just really want it back, I mean, you can buy it right back, same price, maybe a little less.
Yeah, that was a heck of a deal, man. That Manix XL and Crewwear. Did I tell you I acquired another Manix XL, John?
No, you didn't.
It's not here yet, but yeah, I made a trade for one. I've got a St. Nick's Manix XL and 4V coming.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Mostly just wanted to experience the 4V. I already know I like the Manix and Manix XL. So,
well, those St. Nick versions are hard to come by too, so that was a good find.
Yeah. And have you? Well, I know you have it, but if once again you go to Gerald's cut test chart, and the 4V was just off the charts. So I can't imagine if the 15V is that much better. I get it, I guess.
You keep saying, have you, like any of us had any kind of access to those charts besides you?
Well, for years though, people did, and his channel's still on YouTube. You just go to Outpost 76 and type in whatever steel you want to know about, and you can see you can watch the cut test on it. But the chart was cool because it had it all right there. You could compare it all real time. Oh, look at that, guys! That's exciting shit.
Oh, damn.
It's gonna be giving away a pimped out 15V Manix. Yeah. A to Z Turbo Minius. It's not that difficult, buddy. I'll tell you. I used to be in these chats and hear people talk about it, and all the time I was thinking, man, maybe one of these days I'll own a Spyderco, maybe. And all I did, I just quit buying budget knives. I'd eat a sandwich for lunch instead of hitting a drive-through every now and then. Before you know it, I had the money to buy one. It's just all about discipline. Now, unless you're one of those people that just has one budget knife and it's all you can afford, I understand. But if you've bought 4 or 5 budget knives, you already could have owned a Spyderco. So,
Or you could just get a second job working at a strip club.
yeah, that works too. Yeah,
It does. But not all of us have bodies like Shane. We can't work that pole, so
yeah.
we do what we can.
Well, I was only on stage one time. That was up there on my birthday. Yeah.
Did you get fully nude?
Almost. When it's your birthday, dude, all of them.
They had to stop you. Huh? No, keep it on, keep it on.
No, one of them found out it was my birthday, and towards the end of the night, they all drug me up on stage, like 15 dancers, and they all strapped down naked and pulled my pants down to my ankles and danced all over me for my birthday. It was
They spank you
with their butt cheeks. But, yeah. Hey, man, it is. That was a pretty cool experience. At least they thought of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were always pretty good to us, though. I mean, we were that last line of defense. They knew if they ever stomped that floor, that that was the code in the VIP room. There's always a chance of them not being able to scream. So, and they were never allowed to take their high heels off. That's how you clocked in there. Once you put your high heels on, you were on the clock. So if they ever stomped that floor with their high heels, you just come in and wreck a motherfucker, because that means he's done something he shouldn't have done. They all try to argue with you. She said I could do that. I paid her. They stomped that floor. You're going out violently.
What she stomped the floor with?
With their high heel. They just bam. They stomped the floor twice. That lets you know to come fuck this guy up.
It's just funny where the emphasis lies on the high heel versus high heel. She was wearing high heels. No, she was wearing high heels.
Yeah, I guess I don't know what you're talking about, but yeah.
I know. Did you just say high heels?
Yeah. Well, am I saying it wrong?
No. Okay. Some people say it wrong. They say
when that club started, the same owner already owned a strip club in town, and it was a pretty sleazy joint. And he was trying to open this gentleman's club for a slightly classier crowd. So, all the best dancers went to that club. There was more money being played out there. But at one point in time, there was a dress code. Like, you couldn't even walk in a t-shirt. You had to have a collared shirt on. You couldn't wear tennis shoes. He was trying to class the joint up. Well, that was the deal with the dancers was, when they came in, it didn't matter, how dressed up they were until those high heel shoes went on. You weren't working. And literally every night they would walk up to the counter where I hung out, collected the money. They would walk up and sign their name in the little book and show me their foot. They'd show me they had their heels on. The downside to that is once you put those heels on, you're officially on the clock, and now you're eligible for fines. So, like, if you put your heels on, even if you have on a full length dress, if you walk out the front door, for 3 seconds and come back in, that's $1,000 fine for prostitution.
Holy crap.
You pay it or you never get to work again. Now, we know you didn't prostitute in 3 seconds, but the point is those girls require a lot of structure. If you give them an inch, dude, they'll take a mile instantly. So that's just how serious it was. If you step out that door, this prostitution is going to cost you $1,000. So yeah, when they got in fights, that was a $500 fine. They had to pay it before they could come back to work. Yeah.
How's Shane gonna tell me to stop buying budget knives after he just showed me a purple and green Kalashnikov?
That's a very good point. That is a cool ass little knife. I'm not telling you not to buy budget knives. I'm saying if budget knives is keeping you from buying what you really want, then slack up for a little while. I still got said Boker Joker. Oh, almost dropped it. Well, my right hand's almost numb. I can't even feel that thing tonight.
Well, don't cut yourself. So they're calling that the Hulk Wiener exclusive.
Not a bad idea.
It's not.
They called it the Boker Joker. Who said that? I'm learning more about strip clubs than going to one. Yeah. If there's anybody in here who hasn't been to one, and you ever plan to go to one in the future, the biggest piece of advice I can give, and I give this advice to everybody, you strike a deal with a dancer. If you guys have made a monetary vocal contract, in other words, if you've offered her money for something, the very first thing you should do is communicate. You need to know exactly what her boundaries are, and she needs to know exactly what you expect. Because even if she says, no, I don't do that, somebody there will. So there's that. But I'll say this, 90% of the people that I threw out probably didn't know they'd done something wrong. They legit thought whatever they were doing was allowed because they were paying money. So that's all I'm getting at is always ask, hey, what are your boundaries? Always know that up front. That way you don't land on your forehead on a concrete parking stop. Because we're not going to argue with you.
I'm sorry, I don't massage neck rolls.
Yeah.
No, he just broke her finger with his neck roll.
It's amazing what people want, and what people expect. Not everybody's thinking they're paying for sex, but I know guys that go in there and pay for those girls to just sit in their lap, lean over, and breathe on their neck. They just want to feel their breath on their neck, and they'll pay for that. Then we had that one guy who used to come in and get the bartender to piss in a shot glass so he could drink it in front of everybody.
That's just weird.
Well, it wasn't a shot glass. It's like a whiskey tumbler.
I don't care what the size of the glass is. It's still weird.
You'd pay her $40 to go piss in it, bring it out of the bathroom with her, and hand it to him, and he would drink it in front of everybody.
Yeah, that's weird.
Hey man, people got kinks, dude.
Hey, I ain't kink shaming, but that's weird.
No, because I like that dude. I'd love that dude to death, man. If anything ever went down in that club, like a big fight would break out, he was always right there with us. He always had our back. Or if he saw something going on, he'd come let us know. But I mean, he was there every day. And he didn't drink piss every day, just about once a week.
Oh, okay. I was about to say that pee gave him a little extra energy, huh?
I guess so.
Jump right in the mix. Oh, piss breath.
Dopey, that's pretty sorry, dude. If your buddies take you Out for a bachelor party at a strip club, you shouldn't be paying for anything. But I will tell you how to get the most attention at a strip club. If you really want to get a lot of attention while you're there, take a girl with you. Dancers love more than anything to dance for other girls. Uh, they will do things that they normally wouldn't do if you have a female with you.
And you
$40 to do my taxes.
You will learn all kinds of shit on this live stream.
Yeah, you do not want them girls doing your taxes. I promise you that. Yeah, we had a couple that were fairly intelligent, but for the most part, they're there for a reason.
Sharp guy, I'm sorry that happened to you.
Oh, I gotta read this. What'd he say? I went home with a stripper when I was 18, California. As I was finishing, a dude jumped out of the closet and attempted to join in. Turns out it was our old man. He was a watcher. Like I said, dude, people got kinks.
That's an awkward position to be put in, though.
Absolutely. Yeah, see, you should have told her your boundaries. Yeah.
And led with, I don't want your husband jumping out of the closet.
Yeah, they're all they're very interesting. I'll say that. They're fun to be friends with. They're interesting girls. They all got some issues. I don't know how many times I've had to call like long-term stay hotels to try to line up a new place for a girl to live. Find out that this place you stay in cost her $60 a night. You know, I know for a fact she made $1,500 last night, and she don't have anywhere to stay and don't have any money. I never asked. I never understood what they do with all that money. I'm sure it probably goes up their nose, but yeah. None of them live the kind of lives you think they should, making the kind of money that they make. But they're not making the kind of money they used to anymore either, though. The internet has severely hindered their money making. So, guy, I don't quite understand what you're saying there. My last stripper fly post.
Oh, he was saying that was his last stripper experience because he was the one with that horrible experience.
Okay. Yeah.
Walked into a strip club with an unlit cigar about 10 years ago. Chick took it out of my fingers, done some pretty crazy things with it. Buddy gave her $20 for it, then she gave it back to me. Was her name Monica?
Yeah. Some of them are pretty talented, man. I tell you what. I've seen some that could count change. They put.
That's not a huge talent, dude. I can count change.
Yeah,
I'm not the greatest at math, but
they could insert a roll of quarters and ask you how much change you want. And if you tell them $1.75, they'll drop out 7 quarters one at a time.
Out of where?
Out of their reproductive organs.
Why the hell would they put it there?
That's what they do.
Oh, because they don't have pockets. I gotcha.
Yeah, girls' pants don't have pockets.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I've seen one that could smoke a cigar with their butthole. Like, legit make it glow. Like, suck in. You can see the cherry glow, and then blow smoke out.
How much do you have to pay for that?
I ain't paying anything for it. I had a free ringside seat. And then there was the one that had the colored ping pong balls. She would insert them like a white one, a red one, and a blue one. Dance around for a few minutes, ask you which color you wanted, and she could spit out whichever color ball you wanted. How do you get the white one past the blue one to get it to come out first?
I don't know.
She could.
These are questions I would like answered.
Simplify, you're right. That's the that's the capital of talented dancers right there. Not necessarily talented dancers, just things that girls can do things with their vaginas that doesn't make any sense. Yeah. I ain't saying it made it all the way to her lungs. I just want to know how you suck in on the cigarette. Anyway, I don't know. I ain't that.
That's something you're gonna have to ask her. Get
I did
back
have
with
an
us.
incident with a ping pong ball girl though that one night she couldn't get the white one to come out.
So what happened?
I had to get it out. Yeah. I eventually ended up having to crush it to pinch like a divot in each side of it so I could get a hold of it. Because, it's a little slippery up in there. Every time I'd grab it, it would just bounce off her uterus. So
Why did that task fall on you?
I just crimped it. Well, that's why you're there. You're not even really there to bounce people, dude. You're there to babysit 20-year-old naked girls all night. I used to tell them I kept tampons in my truck because I got tired of driving to Walmart. I'm like, bitch, you know, you've been doing this for 8 years. You should be prepared. Please go get them for me. So I just kept them in my truck so I wouldn't have to go to Walmart.
You're a good man, Shane.
That's all you're doing when you work there is babysitting naked girls, whatever they need.
And doing random medical procedures.
We had one that's actually last year just broke a state record in track and field. Um, I can't say her name because I'm sure they don't want to know that she strips on the side, but she's a legit track and field star in college, and I used to have to go buy her blunt wrappers every night. So I just got to where I'd buy 5 or 6 packs of them, keep them in my truck, so I didn't have to go back to the store. It was this blueberry flavored blunt wrapper she always wanted.
And she was a track and field star.
No, Steve, when I meant doing it for 8 years, I meant she's been having her menstrual cycle for 8 years. She should know to be prepared for it, not dancing for 8 years.
So
Yeah,
what were you worried about busting her out on? Working at a strip club or smoking pot?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, she lives a very normal life during the day. She drives a good distance to hide out and make her money. Yeah. What was weird is when the whole OnlyFans thing started. That created a whole new set of politics. They're not allowed to take any photographs or post anything on OnlyFans from the club. So we had to be on top of that. You can't take their phones because they're young females. They have to have their phones. But if you ever catch one recording themselves or taking pictures of themselves at work, that's a $500 fine. Because a lot of them wanted to do both. They want to post clips of them stripping on their OnlyFans. The owner just wasn't having that.
Kill two birds with one stone, man.
Yep, that's what they were trying to do. Yep.
Well, on a non-stripper or knife-related note, I allowed you to influence me this past week and bought something on your recommendation.
What'd you get? That's good stuff, ain't it?
It is.
It didn't last all day.
It does. I was very pleasantly surprised because most of the clone shit, I mean, it smells like it at first and then it just goes away. Now it's straight up.
Yep, it sure
and,
is.
And for $30, jeez.
Also, no, sir, I was not a pimp. I just I worked at a gentleman's club, and I've just been sharing some stories about babysitting those crazy bitches. I shouldn't say that, man. I got along with almost all of them. I wouldn't want to say anything bad about them. But yes, it's true. Some of them are legit paying their way through college. Some of them are supporting their kid at home. Some of them are supporting the drug addict. So there's those two.
Some are just trying to pay for dental work. You never know. Met a few of those behind the dumpsters.
Yeah. Pretty fly. There's always. It seems like there's out of the. I think we kept on average we kept between a 30 and 40 dancer roster. There's always a couple of them, and those really don't have any choice. They're selling ass because you know you go in one of those and try to get the best looking chick in there, it can probably be done for. I think the most I've ever seen paid was about $600 for an evening, not even an evening for sex. But yeah, there's always a couple that aren't very good looking, but you have those migrant agricultural workers that come in, want a shot a leg for $100. There's always a couple of them that aren't. Yeah. Well, that chick I talked about firing that night for having sex 4 times on her first night without without a condom, either one of the 4 times. Yeah, she was fucking butt ugly. I mean, she was trashy. She was nasty looking. She found 4 dudes willing to pay her $100.
Well, that's not very gentlemanly of you there, Shane, calling her ugly.
That's not, but I mean, I went over the rules with her in the beginning. There's certain things you just don't talk about, but they have to know that um, they have to know the limits. They have to know some type of rules. You know what I mean? She just went too far.
Well, on that note, I gotta take a pee, so I shall return.
Cause she couldn't have paid me $100, Bob. That girl couldn't have got me excited if she'd tried. Well, Pedro, they all pay the club. That's what a lot of people don't understand. It costs them a good bit of money to work there. Like right when they first walk in the door, if let's say they don't have any fines from the night before, which is rare, um, when they walk in the door, they have to have a $20 bill in hand to hand the bartender for music because we ran off of this high tech. It was a really good sound system, but it was like an online jukebox. But credits had to be put into it to make it play, so they had to front $20 when they walk in the door just for the jukebox. And then if it was a Friday or Saturday night, we had a DJ. It could be more than that depending on how good the DJ is. But I promise you, a good DJ can make those girls a lot of money. But yeah, and then like their outfits, they're not allowed to just go to Walmart and buy something and wear it. They have to buy it from the club store. If you go in there in the back in a little corner, there's these shelves with tiny pieces of clothing on them, and a pair of panties might be $80, or a cut off T-shirt might be $60. Probably did come from Walmart, but they have to wear their clothing. They have to buy their high heels there, and trust me, dude, they're just cheap acrylic high heels, and they may pay $100 a pair for those things. So the club owner is making a fortune. And then like a VIP dance, which is a one song lap dance, costs you $30. And 10 of that goes to the door, so that goes to the owner, and the girl gets 20. I'm sorry, that's just a lap dance. A VIP dance is 15 minutes in a completely different section, completely different room. It's got like a large, cushy chair with no arms on it. To go in there for 15 minutes is $150, and I already forgot. Yeah, 30 of that goes to the house. So They're spending money to make money for sure. And then we had to get tipped out. Security gets tipped out at the end of the night because when they go back there for a VIP 15 minutes in a room with a guy, and that entire time they're naked, sometimes things get out of hand. So um, I had to stand right outside the door. And I'm listening for that foot stomp. They ever stomp their feet, I know that your VIP experience is over. Yeah, Pedro, I've seen plenty of girls go negative. I've seen girls come in and make $500 in a couple of hours and obtain $1,000 worth of fines. And the next night when they walk in the door to come to work, they have to pay that right then. There's no, hey, let me work till I earn it. Nope. Because like I said, you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. Because several times that's happened. They'll make $1,000 and then think, well, I owe the house 500 of this. I'm just like, fuck it. I'm just going to leave and not come back. So.
Are we still talking about strip clubs?
People are still asking questions. So I'm answering them. Forget sharpening. This is the juice. It's great to use. I'm really shocked. I've got a nephew that's 21 years old, and I was gonna take him in there for a night. Already had. He's big into anime, so we had this little 90-pound chick that liked to dress like that, and I was gonna pay for him a VIP experience and everything. He didn't want to go.
And you had it all figured out. Had it a theme party basically for him. You're a considerate man. You know that?
Oh yeah, I told her exactly what he was into and what she should wear and everything. She was all about it. She's gonna change his life.
Everybody needs Uncle Shane.
Yeah, I was actually proud of him that his morals were higher than mine.
And by higher than yours, you mean he had morals?
Yeah. What was the most common stripper name there? Stormy by far. We had, as soon as one Stormy had quit, the next girl we hired, we'd ask her, what's your stage name? Stormy. We had a lot of Stormies.
I've found that a lot of strippers have names that start with a CH.
No, we didn't have any of those.
Crystal, Chastity, Charity.
I know where you're going. We didn't have any of those. We did have a Chastity.
You had a Chastity?
Yeah. Well, none of them go by their real name either. Just so you know.
No.
It gets really hard to remember who all of them are. Because you're not allowed to address them by their real name in the club because somebody will hear it. Next thing you know, they've spent 30 minutes browsing Instagram or Facebook till they find her. Yeah, you don't want that. Because I used to think that, they could make a lot more money if they had like an Instagram page where they could at least let guys know what nights they were working, when they were going to be there, and just promote themselves with clothes on so the guys would be interested. But you have to be really careful with social media. We had some crazy ass people. You have people fall in love with those girls.
In a strip club?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me right now? There was crazy people.
Oh, yeah.
That would fall in love with strippers.
Yeah, the worst ones were the strippers' ex-boyfriends or ex-husbands. We see that a lot. Girls get a divorce and right off the bat go to dancing. Yeah, Kyle, that's the CH.
Chlamydia.
It's in there for sure. Yeah. Fantasy, Odyssey. Yeah. Hope, Irony. Yeah. They all go by that.
Yeah, and it's always like these very positive attribute names like hope and faith and
yeah. I was actually shocked at how few we had that were tatted. We had one that was pretty tatted up, and she had in like the Hispanic pinstripe cursive and probably 3-inch tall letters. She had game on one ass cheek and over on the other. It was really good tattoo work though. Yeah, she'd get up in your face, shake that thing, game over. Yeah.
Where's my Shane channel sticker, Shane?
Vance, dude, I'm
I don't
sorry.
know, but you're
I'll
gonna
go,
have to incorporate some stripper stuff into your logo.
I go to the post office tomorrow, so I'll try to remember to send them. It ain't just you. I got to send you and Zach and Big Red some. I just keep forgetting it.
A lot of Lexus and Mercedes.
Well, actually, what we've seen more of, or what I saw more of, were normal girls that were married for a while, got bored, and broke up with their man, and then started dancing. So it was more like these were
they,
housewives turning into hoes.
I was about to
I don't think
say that's easy to
they were
do,
hoes.
though.
Maybe they were hoes before. I don't know. So
It's easy as fuck to turn a housewife into a hoe.
yeah, but believe it or not, there's some in there that aren't hoes. There's um, my favorite by far. She was not a hoe. It didn't matter how much money you offered her, you couldn't even touch her leg. I mean,
How,
she didn't allow
what's the
anything.
highest you offered her?
I didn't offer her anything. All it cost me was I spent a morning eating gummy bears and watching anime with her. I was eating.
Mm. So how'd you find out that no matter how much you offered her, she would
Because I
turn
worked
you
there,
down?
I've seen it. You know, I've seen guys off. I've seen guys waving, four figures in her face for not even full intercourse. She just would not do it. That's why anytime a guy said, "Hey, she told me I could do that," or "She let me do that," I knew they were just that one particular dancer. I knew they were lying. There were a few like that. Not many, two or three, but there were two or three that absolutely were not for sale.
Now the merkin makes sense. Speaking of, you're not wearing the merkin tonight.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me, Twain. One of our highest earners was I won't mention her name. She was 56 years old when she retired, and she still made a shit ton of money. But I mean, she took really good care of herself. But I mean, it's not like you couldn't tell she was older. But she was one of my favorite dancers. To just thought when I would come in early, she was always there early during the day. We'd just hang out and talk. But she had pictures of she used to be a groupie for the Stones, so she had tons of pictures of her and Mick Jagger together when she was young. God, she was so beautiful. But pictures of her and Steven Tyler, just tons of celebrities. She went backstage with.
I think you got a little misty-eyed there for a minute, Shane.
Oh, she was super cool, man. I felt she was in a shitty, shitty situation. She should have. She actually did retire a long time ago. Her daughter's a very successful physician, but she won't take any money from her. She just had a man do her really wrong. She had to go back to working. So, yeah. And, you just have to. I didn't have to babysit her, but because she wasn't as immature as the rest. But you got to tote their bags out in their car for them every day. Escort them. I'd literally walk beside their car till they pulled out on the road. You never leave them in the parking lot by themselves. You have fucking weirdos hiding behind their car waiting to. Anyway, I
What's
think
up?
what sucked about the job was that we weren't technically allowed to carry firearms. Actually, we're not legally allowed. You can't have a firearm in a place that sells alcohol around here. But when a guy tells you, "I'm going to get my gun, I'll be right back," we were all prepared. I'll put it that way.
What's up, Jerbster? Good to see you, brother.
Chris Wolf's in here. Chris,
Chris Wolfman. What's happening, dog?
did you trim that beard yet? I've been anxiously waiting to see pictures of you with that beard trimmed.
What, did he trim it?
Yeah, so he's got to trim it for up to OSHA standards, whatever that means.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, yeah. The only ones I really hated were the really aggressive ones. Like We had one that used to have to tell all the time. Guys would literally walk in the door and pay their cover charge, and she was on them. Trying to talk them into a lap dance or a VIP. And I'm like, fuck, man, let them settle in. Let them get comfortable. First of all, they can't even see yet because they just came in from a bright parking lot. It's fucking pitch dark in here. You can't see anything for the first 2 minutes you're in the building. It's just total black. I mean, the stages are lit, but you still can't see because your eyes haven't adjusted. But I just have to get on her for that all the time. I mean, we've had guys leave because she wouldn't leave them alone. She just tried too hard.
P-Fly's got a good point. They have the most money when they first come in.
That's true, and she knew. She was trying to get in that wallet before anybody else could. But yeah, it's just not. It's still our job to make them comfortable while they're there. Oh, you did trim it up? Is it on Instagram yet, Chris? Most disappointed I ever was in one that I really liked her a lot. We became pretty good friends, and I had to bust her from robbing, stealing from a guy one night. That sucked. I was really disappointed in her.
Was she pickpocketed him?
Yeah, she come to find out it wasn't the first time. She did this thing where she'd get you in the VIP room and she would have you laid back in that chair and she would put her knees on your shoulders. And while you were concentrating on what was right in front of your face, she was just taking your wallet out of your pants. Because apparently she had let them pull their pants down. Not their underwear, just their pants. Well, the guys were all for it because she'd rub on it. But what they didn't know, the reason she's doing that is so that once she got your pants at your ankles, she'd take your wallet out, take all your money out of it, and put it back before you ever knew it happened. Yeah.
Did you check your wallet?
No. I don't steal from me. I'm the one that applies all the fines.
Oh, okay.
But I caught her. I actually caught her counting the money on camera, like on the way to the dressing room. If she'd waited 3 seconds and gotten the dress, there's no cameras in there. I'm not even allowed. The only time we were allowed in the dressing room is if there was a fight, and somebody had to come out and tell us, "Hey, there's a fight," and they fought a lot. But that's the only time we were allowed in there.
Officer of NAFs. I broke it skateboarding Tuesday night.
Who are you talking about? With Johnny on Tuesday. Johnny who? Well, first time to go live on Tuesdays. Cole don't allow anybody to go live with him.
Well, he's going to be out of town, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know who Johnny is, Vance. Huh. See, Vince is throwing some merkins up in the chat. Guys, I appreciate all the channel memberships. That was very kind of you guys, man. I didn't think I'd even see channel memberships for a long, long time, but you guys jumped on it, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, Jerpster, you can just screw it back in. You don't have to take the knife apart to put the pocket clip back on.
You guys. No, I mean you and John, the guy next to you. Oh, okay. Yeah. John, do you want to do that? You want to go live Tuesday or Cole? Have Vince on?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
We can do that.
Done deal, Vince. We'll do it, buddy. There's really no point in us doing it while Cole's live. Trying to compete with his audience would be pointless. So we'll just do it when he's done, which is usually around 10 o'clock. So it'll be 11 o'clock your time, Vince. Yeah. That works for me. So you guys keep in mind, Tuesday after Tri-State, me, John, and Brother Vince will be live.
See, I understood too, and I was trying to get that point across to Shane without making him feel dumb, but
I got strippers on the mind, dude. So I'm not thinking straight. Yeah, one cool thing about working at that club is if you ever get bored, you can just go out front and watch the fentanyl zombies walking up and down the street in front of the place.
That's always a good time.
Yeah, yeah. I watched a dude walk probably a half a mile one night with the back of his head parallel to the street. He was bent over backwards, like folded completely in half, bent over backwards, looking straight up, walking down the
Damn.
middle, walking down the middle of the road in a serpentine fashion.
He's bobbing and weaving.
Yeah, Carco, I don't technically. I mean, I could call and pick up a shift tomorrow night if I wanted to, but no, I'm not technically full time there anymore.
But he's still on the books.
Yeah. Yeah, the guy that owns the place likes me a lot. I got him several $1,000s worth of toys for his toy drive he does every year. That is one good thing. The guy that owns the place does a lot for the community, and that's the only reason why he gets away with it. It's not even legal. It's not legal for those girls to get naked in that club. I mean, the laws are on the books, but they don't mess with him because of how much work he does for the community and for kids. But the understanding is, unless shots have been fired, don't fucking call us to come clean up your messes. So, if you get in trouble in there, you better hope whoever's working with you has got your back, because it's not like you can just call the police to come have them drag them out. They don't want. They don't want. They don't want us wasting their time. So you have to handle it all yourself. And the kid that works there, I guess you could call him head of security. Dude, he's a big time hothead. 90% of the fights that happen in that place happen because he escalates the situation. 99.9% of the time, I can just go up and tell him, "Hey, look, man, you messed up. You got to go. If you leave on your own, you can come back tomorrow night. No hard feelings. But if I have to escort you out, you're banned for life." Typically, they just get up and go. But he wants to run over there and snatch somebody up and spin them around and start talking shit. I'm just, I don't enjoy getting punched in the face enough for all that. Yeah, I don't think there's really any excuse for Panda not going live on Tuesday nights.
Well, except for the fact I have to work the next day. But
I mean, cut it off at midnight.
yeah, I might just do it. We'll see what happens after this Tuesday.
Why don't we just do it on your channel Tuesday?
I mean, we can.
Yeah, let's do that. You set it up and send me an invite. Send Vince one. We'll do it on your channel Tuesday.
All right, we'll do that. And see if we can't keep rolling after that.
Yeah, we'll turn into the low budget said faction. It'll be you on my channel on Sunday, and I'll come join you on your channel on Tuesdays.
That'll work. And you damn right, Kyle. We can call it artwork.
No, he said you can't call art work.
I mean, you can call it artwork. Is what I said.
Yeah. That sounds good to me. Maybe that'll get a trend started. We're going to get Panda back on Tuesdays. I know you don't have to get up early. The place don't open early.
I got to be there by 10.
Yeah.
So, no, not really.
Yeah. And it never stopped you before. You used to have to be at work earlier than that. You still stayed on to 2 or 3 o'clock.
Oh, yeah. The edgy panic.
I guess we're done with the stripper conversations, unless you guys got any.
Are we, though?
I was just making sure everybody's.
Okay.
Dopey's asking for a channel link, so maybe he's not a member at Grateful Panic. So.
Officer, I wouldn't say it interferes. I mean, maybe it hinders a little bit, but I can still do my job.
Yeah, he really just.
I mean, I was at work the day after I broke it. The only reason I left work that day was because I had to go to the orthopedic surgeon. And that was the only time they could fit me in. But then, I mean, yesterday And today were the first days I missed that's just because I had surgery on Friday, so it was all swole up like a mofo.
Yep. There you go, Kyle. Put the link up. So any of you guys who aren't subscribed to John, go ahead and do that and be on the lookout for the notification for Tuesday night. Edgy Panda. Edging a Panda or
No, we ain't. No,
Panda Edge.
I know we just got through with the strip club talk, but we don't need to go there, dog.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, Kyle, that was fast enough, buddy. Y'all both did well. Well, Dopey, Panda hasn't been active on his channel for a while, so if you're still fairly new, so that makes sense. But just so that
Yeah, no, it's been a minute.
Backstory, nearly everybody in this chat, nearly all of us, all met and became friends because of Greasy Parsnips over here. When he used to do his Tuesday night lives, he was kind of the first to really do this type of content where, it's knife community based, and we might talk about knives a little bit, but we really just bullshit and get to know each other. He started all this, so.
Hey, don't blame this on me now.
That's why it's important to us to get that back. I've been revisiting this thing, man. I've been carrying it a pretty good bit lately.
Is that the Native 5?
Native Salt, LC200N.
Oh, okay. William S. Hold on. Oh. Let me answer William S. real quick. My favorite Dead album is American Beauty. Okay. Now continue.
What I've just salt talk. LC200N, I think edge retention wise, it's probably about the same as 14C. It's just, which is outstanding considering the fact that there were no highly corrosion resistant steels out there that held an edge for any amount of time when LC200N first came out. So it's kind of been, kind of been outclassed since, but still great stuff. That die job, who said that? Also, Knife. That die job was done by Mr. Grumpy Grunt. He dyed this knife, and even before he dyed it, every time he did a live, he used to do tabletop lives. I would comment on this thing about how much I wanted it, and then he dyed it, and I wanted it even more. He ended up sending it to me. So that's one of those knives that can't ever go anywhere because I know for a fact Mr. Grumpy Grunt is not a wealthy man. He very well could have sold that knife, but instead he gifted it to me. So very cool.
We got to actually hang out with a guy at Blade Show that looked a lot like Grumpy, but he was way shorter. So
Grumpy Grunt is short.
And that was kind of a going joke between me and him because the first time he passed me and I saw him, I was like, dude, that looks just like Grumpy Grunt, but he's way shorter. And then it was him. But he was way shorter than I expected. But a great dude.
Absolutely, he is.
Had a hell of a time hanging out with him.
In case you're wondering, the factory color is this yellow. So the yellow is the color it comes in because it's the salt. You need to get it in yellow or like almost a lime green. So all he did was, he dipped this in red, and then dipped a little further in red, but for less time. And then down here, the same thing. You went, less time on green, then some blue. The blue doesn't show up on camera very well, but it definitely has a blue tint to it at the end. Yeah, saying that, there's still nothing wrong with LC200N. Still a great steel. You have to get Magna cut at a significantly high HRC before it starts making LC200N obsolete, and not many people are doing that.
Dobie said the problem he was having was all the different nicknames I put. He couldn't find them.
No, dude, he changes his name down there every week.
Officer said, "What? You're saying there wasn't a Greasy Parsnips channel?"
Yeah, Grumpy's a good dude, though. I named his fixed blade. Did I tell you about that?
No.
Yeah, Grumpy's having a fixed blade made. Hadn't named it yet, and I recommended he name it Enos. And somebody asked what Enos was. Enos was the first monkey they sent into outer space, and I guess Grumpy thought that was perfectly fitting for his channel.
Hell yeah.
First monkey in space, so he's naming his first fixed blade the Enos.
That's what's up.
Yeah. Somebody asked me if that was like from Greek mythology. It may very well be. I'm sure they named the monkey after something, but that's where it came from.
I got a Greasy Parsnip. You can see if you ask for pics.
Check that one out.
Dude, I can't wait to meet Vince in person regardless, but I can't wait to meet Vince in person on shrooms.
I still haven't tried it.
Well,
I'm not willing to do it by myself. I don't think that's a good idea. In case you guys don't know, if you've been around my channel long enough, that I have some pretty serious depression issues that I feel like I do a pretty good job of keeping them beat back most of the time, but I definitely wouldn't want to go on a mushroom trip. It turned bad.
I'll tell you what, let's set us up a weekend. Me and you will hang out and we'll fucking do shrooms.
I'm a little bit nervous about doing with you, though, to be honest, John.
I won't fuck with you too bad.
I think you will.
I won't fuck with you too bad, dude.
And I thought about it. I don't know that I want to do them with Vince either. As hard as Vince fucked with me that night, the first time he stumbled across me high on Satisfaction, he kept telling me what time it was. And dude had me all messed up, man.
No, we're gonna do that. You know what we ought to do is do it live.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, we definitely should, dude.
Should we?
We should schedule that out, and we'll both eat shrooms and do it live.
Like,
from the same location.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. Yeah.
Let's see what the people want.
Vince wants to some penis.
Comment in the chat if you want to see that shit.
You see what Kyle said?
Yeah.
Maybe you should just come to Gadsden and we'll do them and go to the strip club.
Why we got to go to the strip club?
I don't know. Everything's better with naked girls.
We should get Vince to come too, and all three of us.
Yeah. I need to go by there, dude. It's like every time you go by, if you wait a couple of weeks, you'll go back. And there's always 2 or 3 that have hung around. You got your lifers, but there's always a new crowd.
Are we going to broadcast it live? We can't, though.
Can't from in there. You can't film anything in there. I sent you a picture I tried to take. Something about the light. It's a super fast. It strobes so fast you can't see it, but it makes photography and video very blurry.
Crispy Critter said Bud Light makes the wife's ass sore. Well, you should stop drinking Bud Light then, damn it.
Yeah. Man, you guys remember back when anal was like a big thing? Like when it was a big deal? Like you had to work your way towards it? And now it's just whatever. It's like everybody does it.
Well, I can remember I worked with Chris and Amy. They were dating each other. We all worked at Kroger together. We all went to school together, and Chris was dating Amy, and Amy was deathly terrified of getting pregnant, but wanted to have sex. So Chris was the envy of all his high school buddies.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
we'll just leave it at that.
I had a buddy that was the same way. Yeah. Yeah, when I found out that that he was using shaving cream. I was like, dude, you can't just be squirting shaving cream in that little girl's butthole. I actually went to Spencer's and bought him the big bottle of wet so that she wouldn't have to walk around smelling like Barbasol all the time.
You told the boy you can't be squirting shaving cream in that little girl's butthole. You said those words.
Yeah, they were both young, but that was both of their concerns was they didn't want to get pregnant, so that was what they did instead. And when I found out he was using shaving cream, I was like, no, dude, that's somebody's daughter. Using shaving cream.
Can't be squirting shaving cream up in that little girl's butthole. Vince, we're gonna do that. Oh wait, well he threw in the mushroom mix. I mean, what I was saying was come to Gadsden. We'll all hang out with Shane and do it live. But if need be, maybe after he does it non-solo, he can do it solo, and we'll have a live stream.
Yeah. I'm down for it if you guys are, as long as y'all, are willing to forgive me for anything I might say or do.
Dude, they've sat and watched you take apart and put knives back together. They're not going to mind you high on mushrooms.
Yeah, I guess so. They've also put up with whatever the fuck I've decided to talk about that night. Can't get much worse, I don't guess.
No. I mean, yeah.
What are we going to do? Tell stepsister stories?
Well, I'm sure there's people that hadn't heard it.
Yeah. There's really no story.
Huh?
There's really no story.
No, it's more of a saga.
Yeah. I think the other story's more interesting.
Which one?
The girl down the road.
With the baby oil?
No. The girl down the street.
With the cherry lip gloss?
No. The one I used to go visit every Saturday.
That worked at the strip club?
No. This is when we were teenagers. She's the one that kind of scarred me.
When there's just so many.
Messed my whole experience up with women and sex in general.
Was she friends with your stepsister?
Actually, she was, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she sure was.
I know the one you're talking about now.
Yeah. Yeah, the one who used to let me go down on her Saturday, but wouldn't touch me, wouldn't kiss me, nothing. All my buddies would give me a hard time. Like, man, I wouldn't put up with that shit. I'm like, you're 15 years old, and you've got a choice between eating taco and not eating taco. You eat taco, pal.
I'm going to Taco Bell, goddammit.
Yeah. And that went on for a couple of years, man. It was pretty scarring. That was just a Saturday thing. I walked a half a mile down there.
Uphills both ways.
Spent about 20 minutes doing what I needed to do. Walked home, jacked off. I was good to go for a week.
You lead an interesting life, sir.
I think it's because I was poor. And where I lived. I mean, there was nothing. There was plenty for me to do, in all honesty, but the girls that grew up out there just didn't have anything to do. They were just bored. So,
man, were they?
I mean, all of our parents, worked 70, 80 hours a week trying to keep the lights on, so we were mostly unattended. So that's what that leads to. That's why I was so protective of my girls. I made damn sure they wasn't in that same situation. Yeah. 7 G's.
Jesus Lord.
7 grams.
Dopey.
That's the whole thing. I wouldn't even know where to start.
For you, maybe 2 grams. Unless you just really want to wig balls, and then jump on up to 4 or 5.
Well, what scares me is how paranoid I get when I eat edibles sometimes. And then how
that's why you need a sitter.
Yeah, then how my body stops working.
No, you ain't gonna shit on me now, are you?
No, it was just that few weeks ago, I had to crawl on my hands and knees to the bathroom and lean up on the back of the toilet to piss because I couldn't stand up.
Oh, well, that happens. I mean,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think we should do this. Just have to plan it out. Do it on a Sunday night, of course.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
Speaking of which, dude, I'm getting pretty tired. I've about got my sleep back on track. I've learned now that when I get sleepy, not to fight it, because if I fight it, if I can get over that urge to go to sleep, I'll be up 6 or 8 more hours. But if I just lay my head down when I get sleepy now, I'm got pretty good at actually going to sleep, waking up at a decent hour. Because I do need to go to the post office in the morning and get Vince some stickers. Got a knife I got to get mailed off. 4 grams is my carpet ride. Is it a lot like edibles though? Because I've heard people compare strong edibles to mushrooms.
I mean, they'd have to be really strong edibles.
Really?
Yeah, but it's I mean, it's similar but way different.
Kind of scared.
I mean, to me, it's better than edibles.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, Mike Tyson does it all day, every day.
Yeah. When he's not smoking DMT.
Yeah. You can tell who all the dopers are in the chat. Not even close. No, it's different. No, it is not. Cleanest high ever. Oh me. All right,
Yeah.
I'll try it. I'll give it a shot.
Yeah. You'll be a fan.
Well, all right, guys. I got to get to bed, man. I really appreciate y'all coming and hanging out with us, listening to all my bullshit, whatever you want to call it.
Sexy talk.
Was it though?
I know, but
I
I mean,
about sitting a cantaloupe trade day. I don't know how sexy that is. Yeah. But anyway, guys, well, y'all know I appreciate any amount of time y'all spend with me. I love y'all. John, you got anything?
don't break your arm. That's about it.
Just don't use your knife to pry shit.
Don't use your knife to pry shit, and live life to the fullest, and love each other because we love y'all.
Absolutely. See you guys.
It's gonna take